Welcome into the Chiefs Report. I am Harrison Graham. Thanks to everybody for submitting their questions for today's mailbag using hashtag Chiefs. Maybe you didn't get on today's episode. You want to get on next ones, use hashtag Chiefs in the comments and ask me anything you want. Let's start with Gage Idings here. Let me know if I mispronounced that, Gage, using hashtag Chiefs. How disrespected did you feel when Pat was ranked number 4 on the top 100? Well, as a family member of Patrick Mahomes, I felt very disrespected. No, I'm not related to the best quarterback in the NFL. But yes, let's be honest, the list is bad. Before we got to the top 10, we knew there were a lot of problems with this list. Mitchell Schwartz not being on it is a big problem. Todd Gurley being ranked number 51 is bad because he's not good at football anymore. And Jalen Smith being in the top 100, for those of you who ever watch Dallas Cowboys games, he's terrible. At least he was last season. Kind of an inside joke here at the Chat Sports office. But look, you look at the top 5. I have no problem with these 5 players being in the top 5, although I wouldn't necessarily have Michael Thomas and Lamar Jackson as top 5 NFL players. But look, Mahomes, the 3rd quarterback, number 4 overall. He was 4th last year, and then he won the Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP and doesn't move up. It's a bad list. We all know it's a bad list. The Chiefs had 6 players in total, Mahomes at 4. Then you see the other guys. Frank Clark snuck in. I thought Chris Jones was too low at 52. Don't really have any issues with the other one, although I don't think Travis Kelce should be 11 spots lower than George Kittle. But for whatever reason, George Kittle has, overtaken Kelce in many people's eyes as the best tight end in the NFL. We know that's not true, but, the national media is going to do what they're going to do. Look, it's a horrible list. We've known that for years. I think it's even worse this year than what I can remember in recent years. We all know Mahomes should be number 1. I was actually surprised he wasn't, even though going in, I know the list is bad. The fact he was 4, I was pretty surprised by that. Join the NOTI gang, and what I mean by that is turn on notifications. So first, you got to be a subscriber. If you aren't subscribed, then you hit that bell right next to the subscribe button. It'll give you a couple of options. After that, you select the all option. You're never going to miss a video. They're going to send you notifications straight to your phone as soon as a video gets published on the channel like this one. So go ahead, do those things, subscribe, hit the bell, select all. Screenshot this right now if you're watching on your phone or if you know how to do that on your laptop. That way you know how to do it and you never, ever miss a video. Lots of you guys are subscribed. Not very many of you guys have notifications turned on. It's like 17%. You never want to miss a video? That's what you need to do. Next up on our mailbag, Cole Scanlon using hashtag Chiefs. Will the Chiefs have to choose between Hill and Kelce when their contracts are up, or do you think they'll find a way to keep both? Well, luckily, both are under contract through at least 2021. Tyreek Hill under contract through 2022, so they don't have to worry about him for a while. I do think this time next offseason, Kansas City will have to decide if they want to extend Travis Kelce and keep him around, which I would expect they will. He's only 30. Now, I don't think he'll get like a 4 or 5 year extension. Maybe you give him like a 2-year big extension, 2 years and like $34 million or something like that, and keep him around short term, give him big money, but not for a long-term deal. And then, by the time he's 33, you see if you still want him to be a part of your football team. Tyreek Hill, like I said, you got him through 2022, so I don't think you won't have to decide on him for a while. I fully expect them to keep him long-term, barring, no legal issues or anything like that off the field. But obviously, these guys are, 2 critical pieces to this juggernaut of an offense, right? Kelce's 30 now, Hill's 26. So, if they were, for some reason, having to choose one, I do think it would be Tyreek Hill over Travis Kelce. But, I think they'll find a way to keep both. But keep in mind, the age does factor in here. I don't think they'll give Kelce like a 5-year extension next offseason because he'll be 31. I could 2 or 3 year extension makes a lot more sense. And I think Hill will get taken care of in a few years as well. But pick one to re-sign. You have to pick one. Money's a problem. Whatever the case may be, you can only keep one. Type H for Tyreek Hill. Type K for Travis Kelce. If I have to pick one, I think it's Tyreek Hill. I think his ability to take it to the house every time he touches the ball makes more sense. But let me know. This will be the pinned comment. You guys can debate right there. Lenny the Cool asks, with the preseason being revealed or being canceled, which undrafted free agent, not going to focus on those guys, and drafted players do you think hurts the most? Basically, he's asking which rookies benefit or get hurt the most by not having a preseason. I'm not going to worry about the undrafted guys. I don't really see any UDFAs making this football team. Maybe one sneaks in, but they cut Javaris Davis already, and I thought he may have had the best chance. As far as the rookies go, let's focus on the top three here. Edwards-Helaire, Willie Gay, Lucas Niang. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire actually will be fine. Obviously, the blitz pickup stuff will be the biggest thing he has to focus on, and figuring out those checks and those type of things and getting in sync with Mahomes and the offensive line and all that stuff. But he was pretty good at that in college. I think Lucas Niang actually gets hurt the most here because I think he was going to have a chance to compete for one of the starting guard spots. I'm not sure that happens now. I think he's more of a swing tackle as a rookie, especially after the signing of Kelechi Osemele. Maybe Willie Gay's development gets slightly delayed, but overall, I think Lucas Niang gets hurt the most out of these top three guys. Now, the deal of the day here on the Chiefs Reports are hats up to 30% off. These new training camp editions, they're not on sale, but there's a lot of cool ones available if you want to get a training camp one, still at a pretty good price. But if you're like, hey, I'm about the deals, we've got lots of different options for you guys for up to 30% off at chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. Not just the ones we're showing you on screen. There's a lot of different versions available. Flat bills, snapbacks, the curved bill style, fitted, non-fitted. We got hundreds of different hats with our partners, Fanatics. You get Super Bowl editions as well. Chatsports.com/Chiefs hats. That link will be in the comments, and it'll be in the description. Remember, a lot of these up to 30% off. Now, again, you look at Lucas Niang. When they drafted him, Brett Veach said, hey, I think he can come in there and compete at guard right away. What he didn't realize is the coronavirus wiping out the entire offseason, and that's what it's done. And with no preseason games and kind of a limited, weird training camp, I don't really think he'll play guard. Maybe he still does, but I don't think, I think they're going to take their time with him. Remember, he had an injury last year in college as well. Willie Gay Jr., maybe it takes him a little time to get up to speed, and he certainly would have benefited from preseason games because he only played in 5 games last year at Mississippi State because he was part of an academic scandal down there in Starkville, which like 8 to 10 players missed a bunch of games due to suspension. So I think he could have benefited from, getting out there, NFL speed. Luckily, he played in the SEC. That's probably the closest speed to the NFL you're going to see in college football. But again, limited action. I think he could have certainly benefited as well. So out of these two guys, because I think Edwards-Helaire will have the biggest impact among the rookies, out of these two, though, who will have the bigger impact? Willie Gay Jr. or Lucas Niang? Type W for Willie Gay, type L for Lucas Niang. I actually think it will be Willie Gay Jr. because I think he'll be a starter. I don't think Lucas Niang will. Go ahead and subscribe to us here on the Chiefs Report. We're less than 100 subs away here on the channel. Help us get there by hitting that big red button. 6,000 subs, that's the next threshold here. Help us get there. More subs equals more video. Go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Last one here from Eric Robbie. Should the Chiefs sign Devonta Freeman as a vet or backup, or should the Chiefs sign Logan Ryan now with more cap? Not going to focus on Ryan here. You guys have asked me that a couple of times. Hadn't changed. If he wants to come in cheap on a one-year deal, I'm fine with that. As far as Freeman goes, this is a relevant question, obviously, with Damien Williams opting out, which, by the way, great excuse for him. His mom has stage 4 cancer. I don't blame the guy at all. Look, here's the deal. You already had too many running backs. Why bring in Devonta Freeman? Like, where's he going to fit in on this team? I'll let you guys weigh in here. Should they sign Freeman? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I'm typing my in for no. Not that I don't think he can be an effective player at this point, although I do think there is question there. But look at the depth chart. Even with Damien Williams out, Edwards-Helaire, DeAndre Washington, Darrell Williams, Darwin Thompson, even Elijah McGuire. Sure, in theory, Freeman could be your RB2 if he's fully healthy, but is he worth it? Like, he just hired Drew Rosenhaus. He's still holding out for decent money. If he wants, again, like Logan Ryan, if he wants to come in for the absolute minimum, I got no problem with that. But he doesn't really fit what the Chiefs want to do. He's slow at this point. They need guys who can make plays out in space. That's not really Devonta Freeman's game at this point in his career.